One of the reasons Barack Obama was made president is so he could normalize the LGBTQ agenda in the black community.
And it does cost you opportunities. And you sit around and you wonder why Stephen A. Smith or some of these other people, they always tip their hat and bow to the transgenders and the gay deal and all this other stuff, because they know that's the only way to keep the money flowing.
Whitlock says Barack Obama was the cause of the gay agenda. I think it slightly predates that, but we're going to watch this together because Barack Obama did at least expand the gay agenda. He put it on steroids and set it all up to be legalized marriage within his regime's term. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel on this massive exposure of the draconian LGBTQ push into your life. And if you don't accept it, you're in trouble.
He's saying that Obama was a plant for the LGBTQIA plus silent P crowd.
One of the reasons Barack Obama was made president is so he could normalize the LGBTQ agenda in the black community.
He was made president to normalize the gay. By who? Probably by the devil. But he works through people. And that's just what we've seen now is a complete explosion of that movement. And then it ended up causing Kamala Harris to lose. Thank God.
Think about it. If George Bush tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
If George Bush tried to push homosexuality in the black community, he'd have probably gotten his butt kicked. It'd kind of be funny to watch, though. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. This is where the happy patriots are. Hope you guys have subscribed. That's how you say thank you. Let's watch.
Of course. If Donald Trump tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
You could only normalize that through a blackface.
Through a black man.
Obama was made president to make it normal. When Barack Obama became president, homosexuality was not a mainstream issue, nor was it accepted as a mainstream alternative to the traditional family.
I gotta look at
By the time he left office in 2008, they were completely running everything.
Was
and
that
if
the
you
year?
even disagreed with, I'm gonna give you an example.
It is.
I do a lot of graduation speeches, right? At the June.
Okay.
Elementary school, middle school, high school. I normally do about 20 graduation speeches a season.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When Barack Obama was president, I might have did 5. It dropped significantly. Schools who I normally did their commencement, they was calling me up, Dr. Umar, we can't have you speak this year. Why? The LGBTQ say you don't agree with them. You can't.
Yeah, black person thought he could make it. You go, hey, I'm black. I'm going to make it. As a principal or as a teacher in schools, you got all these graduation announcements. And then guess what took out the black man? His opposition to gay marriage. Suddenly it's like there's no invitations to, so you thought they cared about your skin color, you dumb sucker. It was really, they were pushing the LGBTQ agenda. It was the rainbow edition because they have a greater win in destroying manhood than they do even in keeping the black man in prison. So that's the agenda. And I did the same thing. I had all kinds of work in Hollywood, all kinds of work in comics, all kinds of work in video games. You start opposing gay marriage and suddenly all the opportunities vanish. And you know what? The devil can go to hell. I do not care what he does to me for doing what is right and what is true. So I don't fear him or anything, but it really is disgusting how it all went down. I got into a fake conservative comics movement called Comicsgate. And one of my friends, a Christian, during Pride Month, tweeted that pride is a sin, and all of Comicsgate, they were all programmed, they were in a fandom, they all were told to go nuts on me, to defund my books, to turn their back on me as a Christian, and to attack my pal Mike Miller. That's Ethan Van Sciver. These are all fake conservatives. This is a giant fake movement. If they were real, they would have at least tolerated us and said, oh, that's funny, that's okay. No, they came after our jobs, just like everyone else does. So, and this is my warning to the Republican Party. You try and do a Christless conservatism with Trump and all these guys, good luck with that. You start attacking us, you're going to completely crater the Republican Party and the MAGA movement if you split them off into attacking the anti-same-sex marriage or if you oppose LGBTQ.
Big, I said, but this is a graduation speech. This ain't politics. This is motivation. Get ready for the rest of your life. What does LGBT got to do with my 10-minute speech motivating these 12th graders to make sure you do well in college? Well, we have LGBT teachers and they're saying you're insensitive and you're homophobic. So I saw how not agreeing with the lifestyle could limit your opportunities in life. You had people getting fired from jobs, not for pushing hate, because I don't agree with hate. I don't agree with the lifestyle. But I don't want harm for any human, no matter what their situation is.
That's the way to do it.
But the way that they did it was the LGBTQ said, to disagree with me is to hate me. They created a narrative that if you disagree, you support violence against me. You don't want us to work. You want us to be shot, killed, maimed. We never said that.
That's ridiculous.
We just said we don't agree with the lifestyle. But they turned it into a whole campaign against anybody who disagreed with it.
Oh, yeah. I had a bunch of people attack me, attack all my characters. Like I said, this Comicsgate, fake conservative, antichrist, fake movement came out and said, is Earthworm Jim gay? Is Earthworm Jim homophobic, trying to get my license, the owner of the license, to turn against me, knowing there was huge cultural pressure on behalf of the gays. They were using that cultural power. And that's when everyone started realizing, like, holy cow, this issue is a lot bigger than you ever thought it was. I knew all along because I saw it happen early on. I was first. I was tip of the spear, guys, canary in the coal mine. They hit me first because I'm more outspoken about my values than most people are. So, and I hoped my life served as a warning so people could start acting tactically, not in fear or not speaking up, because that's what cowards do, but being more tactical in how you're going to try and navigate the rainbow. And then all the corporations came in. Now it's Oreo rainbow cookies, even Disney and Disney programming. Everyone's like, holy cow, where'd this come from? I'm all, oh, you guys were all writing articles against me. My buddy, Ian Miles Chong, who's a friend of mine now, he was writing stuff on me going, Doug, he's anti-whatever. All the industry were cowards. Terrified. And I still stand strong. I've walked the same line of all, because I got my values from the Bible. Okay, this has been wrong. It says a man can't lay with a man. It goes all the way back. This is early paganism, okay, guys, that homosexuality was endorsed. So that it's something new, it's going to always come back because it's in the human heart. Okay, your man is going to always have a problem with greed. He's going to have a problem with lust against women, lust, the flesh, and the pride of life. The big sins of man, they will never, ever change. Elon Musk can go to Mars and set up a whole new civilization, and guess what they're going to have a problem with? Lust, same-sex lust, flesh, and the pride of life.
And that's another reason why a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala Harris, black men, because they got tired of the effeminization, and then they took it to Africa. Obama started it. He went to Africa. He went to Liberia. He went to Rwanda, a couple other places. He said, if you don't legalize gay marriage, we cutting off your aid.
That's some of the best work I've ever heard from Umar.
I love that too, that like, you know, we inherited the slaves or took the slaves out of Africa, and then Obama exports homosexuality back to Africa. Just for the men that are still left there in Africa, he was going to poison them, destroy their culture, and destroy the family.
Because that breakdown of the consequences of not being on board with the LGBTQIA plus silent P alphabet mafia agenda. That's what no one ever wants to talk about. And like me doing this show the way that I've done it, I know the consequences. In terms, I'm untouchable. I'm reviled in legacy media because the gay crowd has so much influence over human resources departments throughout corporate America. You know, I'm as toxic and as nuclear as you could possibly be.
Oh, I can think of someone who's more toxic and more nuclear, Jason. Right here, you're my brother, though. See, this is what's funny is in California, there was Proposition 8, which was asking California to vote on gay marriage, and it went down. It overwhelmingly got defeated against gay marriage. Do you know who was on my side? I was one of the few Christians. Blacks and Mormons were standing with me. I looked to my right, I looked to my left. There's blacks and there's Mormons standing with me, promoting traditional marriage. And it was the liberal evangelicals in California, liberal Catholics, liberal everything else that were supporting gay marriage. So you start to find out you have strange bedfellows. And by the way, it was I saw gays screaming at the blacks for opposing gay marriage and using the N-word against them. You turn against Marxism and they will absolutely slit your throat. So this is about that, the backlash of if you don't agree with every single thing they promote, they will come after you. And that is Marxism. That is social justice warrior. That is woke. And that's why Comicsgate's woke. Anyone who comes in and starts showing shame and fear about you, they're woke. They're trying to demonize you for what you believe in. They're trying to peer pressure you into paganism and making you bow down to these tenets of ancient paganism in modernity pushed by Marx to create division and to be able to control the masses.
And it does cost you opportunities. And you sit around and you wonder why Stephen A. Smith or some of these other people, it's like they always tip their hat and bow to the transgenders and the gay deal and all this other stuff, because they know that's the only way to keep the money flowing.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. He's a jock, basketball player, but you bowed down. You're not a man. You bowed down to the LGB movement. Another way I'll put it is you bent over. Stephen A. Smith?
I completely agree with him in this take also, Jason. I can remember it was like 2015, 2016. I did a video and it was titled, "Get This Gay SHIT Off TV," because I remember watching Empire during this time and they had so many gay scenes. Like there was one scene where a spouse or a partner, whatever, walked in on his other partner who was on his knees and the guy's pants were open. For me, I was like, this is regular TV. Why is this coming on at 8 o'clock on a Thursday? Kids are still awake. This is not cable TV or what was known as cable TV back in the day. This is so wrong.
Good gal, Shamika. Voice of sanity. I love Shamika. I love Jason Whitlock. Man, they're just sitting there dropping bombs. But it's the truth. This didn't used to be radical. What they're saying is common sense. And she's also bringing up Empire, that also had the gay agenda in its show. That's where Jesse Smollett came from. He was an actor in that. The guy who faked being beat up by MAGA, claiming white MAGA guys came and tried to pour bleach on him and put a noose around his neck while he was getting Subway sandwiches in the middle of an ice storm. And it's a hilarious story. That's where Jesse Smollett came from. That show, Empire, that was pushing the agenda and pushing it hard.
And I can remember people coming after me, being so upset that trans Madison something, she came after me. Video just went viral. But my problem was during this time, during Obama's second term, is when I began to see it was rampant and it was all over the place. And they were asking kids in school, what do you want to be called? A she or a he? And they were saying, are you a prince or are you a princess? And you don't give young children that choice. And it was like out of nowhere. And as he said, George Bush wasn't pushing that. It was pushed under Obama. The whole legalization of gay marriage, this was all Obama. And that's what kind of began to open my eyes, because of course I was one of the ones in 2008 that voted for Obama simply because he was black.
And she learned her lesson. Boy, she woke up quick. I have a bunch of black friends that are conservative now that voted for Obama just because he was black. They're going, Doug, you don't understand, man. You get a black presidential candidate. If you're black, you vote for him. And they're like, holy cow, I'm voting for gay marriage now? Yeah, you are. Because you voted for a guy just because of his skin color. All you dummies. And we love black conservatives. We don't love you for your skin color. We love you for your values. And you guys loved him for his skin color. And his values were pro-LGBTQ, totally against your values. You were suckered.
I fell for it. And then during his second term, I was thinking something's not right. And that's what it was for me. It was the whole LGBTQ agenda that, he was pushing. I think he was the first president that lit the White House in rainbow or whatever. It was ridiculous and it was all over the place. And as a mom who had kids in school at the time, it really upset me. So I appreciate Umar for saying this, and I do understand and I agree with what he's saying. They come after you if you just say anything against it. I did a video against Nas X when he did the whole devil video and had the shoes with the blood in it.
Lil Nas X.
Yeah, Lil Nas X. I lost my privilege to go live on Instagram because I came out and said something against that. And to me, that was demonic. I had every right to say something, but I lost my privilege for over a year to go live on Instagram just because I spoke out about it.
Social media shut her down. They take away your microphone because they can't win an argument. That's how it's done. They could have let people debate in her. That's what the messaging is for. You guys can debate me right now and say, Doug, I disagree with everything you've said. That's the beauty of social media. And Instagram goes, no, there's no such thing as social media. It's all broken. We'll fix it. We'll take away her microphone. We don't want even a discussion going on back and forth. There will be no discussion on this topic. There's only one issue. There's only position you will find. She mentioned Barack Obama being the first to put the rainbow all over the White House. That wasn't just what they did. They put the rainbow flag all throughout our embassies in the Middle East and Muslim countries. Liberals, liberals and progressives and Democrats always claim to be, we're cultural relativists. We're culturally sensitive. Unlike you people, we love all different cultures of the world. Then they stick a rainbow flag in protest against Muslims who throw gays off the top of buildings. They pushed their ideology on them and said, you get no USAID funding if you don't fly. Then they're all, oh, I guess we got to fly the flag. That's every American too. Just as dumb, going, I guess I got to keep my job and not say anything about the rainbow flag. And that's how they did it. Suddenly you turn around and they're transing everyone. And America's going, where did this come from? Why are women playing in sports? And why are men playing in women's sports? You did this, you dummy. You didn't fight to protect man-woman marriage. And once you opened that up, once you pulled that line out, there's no stopping that line.
Hats off to Umar because he's right.
The point you're making about how pervasive it became in television shows. And so virtually every TV show, even before Obama, I would have to go look. The programming and the manipulation has always been there. And so now I've reached the point, and maybe I've just gotten too righteous, too old, too fuddy-duddy. I want to see no sex in none of these TV shows or movies. They have been very, very calculated and intentional about mainstreaming the whole homosexual agenda. They did it with Obama. They did it with television shows.
We watched it just the other night. We're watching Survivor together, and there it is on Family Hour. And it might be an insurance commercial or a Triscuit commercial or some pharma commercial, and there's always two men holding each other on the couch, two beards. And I just go, I show it to my family. I don't sit there and say, hey, turn it off. We can't watch this. I say, look, this is what they're doing. It's deliberate. They're pretending like it's accidental, like it's just all interchangeable, but they're shoving this stuff down your throats. You turn against it. You go speak out against this in college, in your college class, and watch what happens to you. I go, therefore, it's evil, it's Hitlerian, it's totalitarian, it is jam it down your throat, and you will not oppose it with your values. Everything they ever said about cultural relativity, anything they ever said about a diversity of opinion, about diversity, they don't believe. Anything they ever said about be different and be yourself, they never believed it. They were always lying. They only said be different so they could fly their rainbow flag. And as soon as you opposed it, they showed you exactly what they thought of your difference. They want it killed. They want you fired. They want you unemployed. They want you to be shamed as an untouchable in culture. And they can eat me. I'm Doug in exile.